My name is Toby Ott and I'm 27 years old. I have quite a few hobbies. I love watching television and films. I also love watching YouTube videos, and I am also a video game fan. I've been playing video games for quite a long time now, since 5 years old. I've been blind since birth. I was born with a condition called Bilateral Anopthalmia, which means born without eyes. It's quite rare. I think it's like 1 in 100,000 children are born with it every year or something like that.
When Toby was born, it's like a freight train coming down the track and hitting you, because you don't know the world that you're about to go into, because the world of having a child with any disability is quite a frightening world. And you think, they're never going to do this, they're never going to do that. How are they going to do this? How are they going to get on in life? Where are they going to go? Where are they going to work? Where are they going to go to school? And everything, and are they going to have friends? So it's a very worrying time. But my wife and I, Kelly, we're very positive people, and we decided that it doesn't matter, because we know that Toby's going to get on really well in life, and he has. He's now 28, and he's gone through life. He's had lots of changes and different events that have made him into the person that he is now.
I went to mainstream school, primary and secondary, and then when I was 16 I went to the Royal National College for the Blind in Hereford for 3 years and studied music AS level, as well as a BTEC in performing arts. After that I went to Lewisham College to study business IT, and I got a HND in business IT. Being blind, obviously getting around is quite a difficult thing. I had when I was younger to learn a white cane, and when I was at Hereford at RNC when I was 16, obviously I had to learn, even at school as well, I had to learn the routes to get around the building so I could get to classes on my own. I used to, when I was at Hereford, come home on the train on my own from Hereford to London Paddington.
He loves walking. He's flown a glider and looped the loop over Kent. He's parachuted from 13,000 feet. So being blind, it doesn't stop him. And the big thing is that being blind is not his disability, it's others around him.
In terms of the way I read and write, I started learning Braille when I was 3. I'm currently using a Braille Note Touch, which is the first Braille tablet in the world that also works with Android, and it has built-in speech software as well as a Braille display and touchscreen. And when I actually use the computer, on my Windows computer, I use a screen reader called JAWS, and on my Apple Mac, it has a built-in speech software called VoiceOver. So if I want to watch that video, I select it.
Press link. Walt Disney YouTube video player group with 9 ads.
And there we go. I've been a video game fan since 5 years old, in an arcade where I played Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter.
When he was about 7, I'd been on a day trip to France, and we actually purchased him. We bought him a PS1, I think it was, PlayStation 1. And Kelly goes, we've got to get him some games. And that is what kicked off this whole gaming world that he's in now.
The first 2 games I ever had were Star Gladiator, which was a space fighting game, and Tekken 2. I've played Soul Calibur, which is another brilliant fighting game series, and I beat my friends when we fight each other.
That's really how he started. He just carried on, and then he started doing more games. He tended to be a lot into the fighting games, you know, the Mortal Kombat's, Tekken 1, Tekken 5, 6, or whatever numbers are up to now. And he just played them and played them and played them. And then he got into this Final Fantasy, which to me is another world. I haven't got a clue.
In 2003, I bought a PlayStation 2 as well as Final Fantasy X. With the help of my friend and my cousins, I was able to learn how the menu system and battle system work, and I've been able to play the game, including walk around different areas and fight the random encounters and the boss battles. I really enjoy RPG games like Final Fantasy, for example, because I love a game with a good storyline and interesting boss fights and music. The music as well is a big part for me in terms of gaming. There's a big thunderstorm, there's lightning strikes everywhere, and that you've got to try and dodge the lightning in order to get across safely without getting struck. I enjoy the voice acting as well, because voice acting is a way that you sort of feel attached to the character or characters in the story. I also like first-person shooters like the old classics Doom and Duke Nukem, because I love the sound effects of the monsters, and I also enjoyed seeing how many monsters I can kill in one shot with the different weapons. Because I'm blind, I can't access all the health packs and all the armour, so I use God mode so that I can actually enjoy the maps. I also use a cheat where I can go through the walls because I can't find all the keys to the doors, and because I can't complete all maps, I also use a level select cheat as well. I've also now got into game modding, so I download Doom 2 WODs from a archive, and I have been lucky enough to complete a large number of maps over the last 10 years of playing Doom regularly.
We've gone from PS1, PS2, PS3, and I think is it PS4 now, I think is the latest one. And obviously he's always wanted the next generation of whatever it does. So obviously we've encouraged that because we like the fact that Toby, number one, gets a lot of enjoyment from it. He gets a lot of, he gets friendship, and it's very social. It's a very social thing to do, because if he has friends come round, you know, being blind, you're isolated in some respects. You haven't got the visual stimulus that we have, where we say, let's go down the road, let's go do this, let's go do that. But he has the gaming aspect, which he totally loves, and we don't disencourage it. We in fact, we encourage him to enjoy it because he's good.
Video games are challenging to play because obviously they're very visual. But I enjoy the challenge of learning how to play these games, like Final Fantasy, for instance, just trying to do the same stuff that gamers do generally.
The world is now as small as your phone. You can talk to anybody in the world, and with the gaming aspect there's also that as well. And I think Toby's actually encouraged some of his friends to get more involved in the gaming side and just enjoy it and play it and socialise and they get a sense of achievement. And I think Toby gets a massive sense of achievement from game playing.
I got stuck on a boss in Final Fantasy X for 8 weeks. And I kept trying and trying and trying and failing. And then eventually I defeated it and I was like, finally, I've done it. Brilliant. Now I can see what happens next in the story. It's just the thrill of spending time beating a hard game and thinking, oh my god, I've actually beaten this without help after learning the ropes with my friend. And it's just that amazing feeling. It really is an amazing feeling.
But when he plays something like Final Fantasy, which is full of menus and links and that, and there are things he can't do, which is obvious to everybody, and he will say, can you help me go from A to B or do this? I can't go through the menus like he goes through them, but he goes and gets it bench, and he goes, yeah, carry on, Dad, you can walk us around and I'll tell you where to go. How does he know where to go? I don't know where to go, but he's telling me where to go. But I understand that he's got a goal to get to, and by doing it, and with my help, and with James, who comes along and helps with his friend Ian, his cousin John, it's just nice that people interact with him and they don't see it as a burden or a chore because they get enjoyment from it.
I'm James and I volunteer for the Kent Association for Blind. So I applied to volunteer, and then Madeline, who is the KAB volunteer coordinator, she mentioned about befriending, and she had someone in mind, Toby, and he said like, he was a gamer and I was a bit of a gamer around my age, and she was like, she thought it'd be a good match. If anything, I thought as well as helping Toby, it could help me as well. So sometimes I feel I don't explain things that well. So being in this role, the explaining, that is the main part of it. I've got to talk Toby through some parts of the game. So the first time we played together, we played Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, and I can't say I've ever played this type of game before, so it was interesting for me. So yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect, but on my first session, he sort of just handed me the controller and was sort of just, and I was just sort of walking around this map, not really knowing what to do, and then Toby was talking me through what to do more than what I was like helping Toby with to start with. I didn't know the game, didn't know what to do. He was telling me all the buttons, all the controls. So I was learning a lot more when I first started the game. Then so through the first session, I grew a bit more confident. I was playing and I was doing some more bits, helping Toby, telling him where things are. So like even just button presses, like I always forget what it's called. I think it's quickening, and you got to like do 8 hits and press buttons. I was telling him what buttons to press or who the leader is or what sort of magic to do. So and it sort of just grew into it. I was just sort of just. As I grew a bit more confident, just started saying what I saw on the screen and helping out as much as I can. Then I was like, Toby, how do I get there, or what do I do? And then he was helping me as well. So in some ways, it's sort of a two-way street. I help Toby with the visual, but he helps me with the game. So it sort of works both ways, really.
Right, if we head in, go to the Waystone,
Yep.
I'll buff up, and then we'll fight.
Through the ancient door, yeah?
Yep.
Got ya.
Correcto.
Pretty much there. In the door we go. Right. Yep. Bosch is in. Smell mode, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Hate that move.
You're still on reflect though, so that's cool. You're nearly on. He's on half health. You want to do quickening. The Romus, yeah. Fires of War.
Yep.
Okay. And but Bosch is still in Berserk triangle.
These quickenings, you either get a really long one, or you get...
We get a couple of hits, didn't you? Right, let's see what comes in. Square.
Time up.
Right at the end, yeah.
Only 4 hits.
It's got about a quarter down. You're on a 9 chain.
He's only
though.
just hit half.
Yeah, he's just under half now. He didn't go that
I just
far.
want to check something.
The gambits are on, yeah.
That one's on.
Yeah, HP, yeah, 50%.
That's fine.
You're doing pretty well though. You've got a lot of hit points up.
Oh yeah, it is on, yeah.
He's just over a quarter health at the moment.
Right, he's back in. Right, he's back in. Great.
Yes, the main Calvados and Bar.
Come on, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Yeah, you're doing alright. You've got just under a quarter health left. No, Varn is KO'd.
No, he's back.
He's back. He's back. That was quick.
I can't do anything about it.
At the moment, yeah.
Oh,
Balconies and stop. Cronus 2, yeah?
yeah.
Cool, yeah. Still on stop at the moment. No, it's off now. There's not a lot of health left.
Don't they spawn quick?
They do, yeah. He's about to go though. You about to do it.
Dead.
Done.
Got him. Right.
Where am I heading?
Through the door. Oh, is there loot here?
Yeah, loads of teleport stones. Dark crystal, dark blooded bone, and a teleport stone. Yeah. And back through the waystone.
Yeah, you'll have to activate the waystone twice.
Touch the device. Yep.
Because it takes you to, you know that bit where we were in the story where we fought Mateus?
Oh right, yeah.
Takes you to that bit, so you have to activate it again to get
One
back
more
to
time,
that first room.
Okay.
And those Reaper mages are going to be there again, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, there they are. That's fine.
I'm actually...
Right, we're out. Do we head to these safe crystals?
Yeah, I'm actually going to keep that save what I've got now. Because I've actually come out better
there you go.
than what I had before.
You're on the save now. You're picking your save location. I think coming here, like, I get to meet Toby, and I think we do it to friendship as well over the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks, which I think is key. You don't want to come in and just, you know, come in and you go away and just don't think about it.
I do like playing games with someone because I feel that we both accomplish that thing. So just say like beating a hard boss, for example, I feel that we've worked together to beat that boss battle.
Socially, it's been good for him because, you know, he's met lots of people online, etc., and he talks to lots of different people, but he never tells them he's blind until he has to, and I think then they're a little bit shocked.
So when I learn how to play a video game, my friend has to teach me how to navigate each menu, so where certain stuff is in a menu, and then once I know how to navigate that menu, I try it myself to see if I can actually do it. In games like Final Fantasy, for example, music is a really important factor because the music identifies the area that you're in. What I always try and do is aim for a save point, generally. Oh, I'm in Macalania. So I know that if I'm on a high road or in a cave, for example, the music for that area plays. And if a battle begins, the music changes, so I know whether I'm in a normal battle or a boss battle, for example. Some fighting games like Injustice, Gods Among Us, for example, have audio cues, so you can identify where you are on the screen in the arena, which is really useful, especially if it's an arena that has, say, water that you can fall into. It gives you an indication of what part of the arena you're fighting in and whether you have to move the other way in order to avoid certain traps. There are some games that unfortunately I can't play, so that I get an understanding of what the game and the story is all about, I normally watch the walkthroughs on YouTube so that I can still enjoy the story of that particular game. Whilst playing these games, I, listening to the music, the voice acting, the cutscenes, I really imagine what the world is like and what the game wants you to think about in terms of the way the characters live in that world. I do imagine when I'm sleeping, or even just when I'm thinking about what the world is like. Like for example, the characters are going on a journey and I'm going on the journey with those characters and imagining what they're feeling about the whole world and its people, and I just find that is important when it comes to a game.
It's just a shame there's just not more to help him play it. You know, there's not more assisted technology. That's what we're thinking about. You know, like there's more audios you now have on TV and the theatre and everywhere you go. You know, you get assistive stuff that helps blind people understand and get places. You know, like you can have a phone now that's got talking GPS, etc. So it's a shame that there's not enough from the gaming industry now to pull in a bigger audience of people.
I'd never thought about audio scripting in games or even on TV. Never thought about it because I've never needed it. When I spoke to Toby, I realised it's such a key thing that people do need in games, because I suppose I turn on my Xbox, I just play FIFA and don't think about it, but Toby, like that audio description would just help so much. So in that respect, like it has changed my perspective as we need more sort of assistance for blind people.
In order to improve video games for blind people, I think firstly one of the most important things that need to be put in is audio description for cutscenes, for example, so that when there is a point in the cutscene where there's no talking between the characters, someone that could describe what's going on or the area that you're in the game, and say the different directions you can go in that area in order to get to a new area, for example. Also, maybe having some form of built-in screen reader in a game could prove useful. I also think that having audio navigation of menus would be useful. I played a fighting game called Virtual Fighter 4, and what was great about that is that it had audio navigation in the menu, so I knew what each item was in that menu, so I actually didn't need help from my friend to navigate that menu because I was able to access it independently. I know it could be done, especially having audio explaining where you are and how you can navigate around that area.
It's the world around him that has to adapt in some cases to help people with the condition that he has and what many thousands of others have, and sadly people to come will have. But the world's getting to be a better place now, and I hope somebody like Toby can be a little bit of an inspiration to those parents who've got young children, and they can go, yeah, that bloke Toby, look what he does. He plays games, he goes out, he's skydived, he's done this, he's done that. So like I say, there's no barriers to anything. And the main thing is that he gets on with life and enjoys it. So it makes us proud parents, but we are anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I would say, any blind person out there, try a video game of some kind, whether it be a RPG or a fighting game or even a shooting game, for instance, like Doom. Even if you play it with a sighted friend and then learn how to navigate around the game, and you will get absorbed into the world that the game wants you to learn about. And it's been a big part of my life. It's been great fun, and I still enjoy it even today. And I really want other blind people to try these video games, because they will, I hope, feel the same way.